Hello, everybody, and welcome to No More Beauty Secrets, episode 5, I think. I think it's episode 5. Whatever. I'm just going to say it's episode 5. My name is Amy Shukma, and I am a professional makeup artist and licensed esthetician for the past 30 years, softly retired a year and a half ago. And I am just here to share all of my beauty secrets, right? So this is No More Beauty Secrets. And it was funny because I wanted to abbreviate No More Beauty Secrets because I was like, as like an acronym, I was like, how do I make it? So I'm like, NMBS. Oh, No More BS. So I thought that was kind of fun. So no more BS about beauty. Sure. So today I'm going to talk about monochromatic. I already kind of set up a lot of I did my skincare prep. I did my complexion. I have a little bit of eyes on, and of course the brows, because I didn't want to scare anybody. Not that I was scaring anyone. Yeah, so we're gonna talk about monochromatic. I believe it was episode 3, that I was talking about complementary colors, or maybe episode 4. I don't remember. One of the other episodes I was talking about complementary colors, and I got my color wheel, and to show you what I meant by you have your primary colors, blue, yellow, and red. But then you also have shades and tints of each hue. So each color is called a hue or a chroma, right? So each of these colors, these hues, these chromas, have shades and tints of each one, right? So you add a little bit of white and it's a tint, and you add a little bit of black and it ends up being a shade of it. So we're going to talk about monochromatic, because monochromatic is basically staying all within one color scheme, right? So within one chroma. So that's why it's one chromatic. So one chroma, monochroma. Yeah, so I'll quit saying that. So I'm going to work primarily, I believe, let's work with some, what am I in the mood for? I think I'm going to work with some red. I like working with reds, and a tint of red is pink. So you add white to red is pink. And then a tint of black takes you into like a deep brown shade, like a reddish brown. So you can work with all those like pinks, reddish browns. So that is what we're gonna do. I did a little bit of like a reddish brown underneath my eye to line it. So I'm already like kind of halfway there. And I was just gonna do my makeup, and I was like, well, why don't I come on and do an episode of No More Beauty Secrets? And before I even get into it, I just want to let you know that elf-cafe.com is up live. Hi Sam. I am offering, not just going to, but I'm going to be adding something on my website, elf-cafe.com, to book online. So stay tuned for that. But if you want a beauty lesson, like a one-on-one lesson with moi, whether you're an aspiring makeup artist, if you are, just somebody who wants to kind of change up their makeup routine, or even their beauty routine or skincare routine, just, drop me a DM or text message me if you have my number. Oh, hi. Oh, thank you so much. I like this. Yeah, I like this shade. I've been really getting into embracing the redhead. Thank you so much. But yeah, so you can book personal lessons with me. They're called No More Beauty Secret Tutorials. So we can do it virtually or even in person. And I can also be a personal shopper for you. So basically like having an in-store experience where I can meet you at your local cosmetic retailer and go shopping with you and help you navigate that whole world. So drop me a line if you are interested in that. Anyway, back to monochromatic. So we're going to stick within the red chroma right here. So we're going to do little shades of pinks. We're going to get into some reddish browns, and that is monochromatic. So let's get to it. I have all my makeup on the table that's actually holding the thing for my phone, so it might actually get a little wobbly, but I didn't have to tell that to you, but I'm going to. I did. So here we are. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit. Now, what's great when you want to do something monochromatic, a monochromatic look is having that one chrome, that one hue represented on all of the features of your face. So basically eyes, cheeks, and lips to create a cohesive look. So I'm going to take a little bit. I like to use my blushes a lot for my eyeshadows. I just think they're really soft and smooth. And so I'm actually going to take a little bit of this pink shade right here on a blending brush, right? On a contour blending brush. And I'm just going to soften that right there. And I'm going to go right in the center, like right in my eye socket in that contour, right in the center. And I'm going to go here first because that's where I want the intensity. I kind of want to like open my eyes up this way a bit and then just blend back and forth. So I start here and then I can blend in and blend out because I still want that intensity to be up there. And this is just like a really fun way to do your makeup pretty quickly because I'm going to use this one color on my eyes, cheeks, and lips. So I press, 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 and I get right inside the socket, right? The bone. Press, press, press. Work my way in, work my way out. Yeah, so let me check and see what that, yeah, that looks good. So then I'm just gonna lift up my pressure and just kind of blend it out a little bit. I really don't wanna use this motion to move it around too much. I wanna be strategic in where I'm placing it again. So I'm using like the very tip of the brush. I even have the brush pretty perpendicular to my face, right? Like right in there. And then blend it back and forth. And as you can see, it creates a really beautiful, soft color. I'm going to use the same color, same blush, same product, and I am going to place it on just a nice, fluffier brush. So the brush that I use is going to change, of course, what it looks like on my face. I'm going to take that same shade and same thing. I'm just going to dip right in the very, very tip of the brush. I really want it to be concentrated, as you can see, like right here. And I'm going to warm it up on my hand a little bit and just press off the excess. You could probably see a little bit of pigment smoking off. I'm going to go right underneath the outer corner of the eye on my cheekbone, right? So not the apple of the cheek. I want to add some lift. So even if you did the apple of the cheek, that little fleshy part right here, I'm just going to go right outside and up, which ends up going right outside the outside corner of my eye on top of the bone. So you can feel your cheekbone. And I'm going to start there. And you can see how even that intensity, without even blending it, starts to add a little bit of lift from one side to the other. So I'm going to press it there, and then I'm just going to keep pressing upward. And then I'm going to use the side of the brush to blend it up. So doing it quickly looks like this, and then blending out up. And you can see how that already starts to add a little bit of lift for me. Love it. And you could do this, like, I mean, sometimes I'll do a monochromatic look with peaches and oranges, and even straight up red, right? I have like a red blush that I have to be really careful because I'm like white as paper. But it does end up like looking very, very beautiful. And then up, right? So press, 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 and then use the side of the brush. So you don't have to make your brush work for you, right? So I'm using the tip of the brush to add the intensity of where I want it. And then I use the side of the brush to really blend it out. Blend it out. Good. So you can see this is a really pretty soft look. Then I'm going to use, I have a little bit of balm on my lip. Take that off. And I'm going to use the same thing. Oh, my lips ended up just turning naturally pink. I am going to take a little bit of my foundation powder. And I'm just going to mute that down a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to use my finger on the same blush. And I'm going to pop this right on my lip. So I'm going to use the roundness of my finger and use this right in the center of the lip, right on my Cupid's bow. which is this little area right here. Isn't that cute? That Cupid's bow. And then we're gonna go right in the center, back and forth on the bottom. Just blend this out. Yes, you can use powders on your lips, especially if you like that matte look. Now, I mean, I would hydrate your lip with either a plumper, you could put a little bit of balm or gloss over top of it. It's actually kind of cute by itself. But I'm just gonna add it here and then start blending it down. And what is interesting is I'm gonna take my finger and I'm pressing my lip to where it folds, right? It starts like the edge of my lip starts to fold. And that'll give me a nice soft application. And then just blend this out. So again, monochromatic, you have eyes, cheek, and lip, and you can do this with a cream, you could do this with a powder. I heard you that, you know, some people were requesting something quick and easy that you could do. I mean, this is really something quick and easy that you can do that looks cohesive and really pretty. And then I'm gonna take a bit of a gloss. I wanted to do like a reddish brown lip liner, but I do like to use a little bit more of a kind of like a neutral lip liner just to get like a natural kind of contour around my lip. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna show you how to keep it monochromatic with that so we can bring that color back out. So I'm gonna go right in the center. And I get that Cupid's bow pretty well defined, right? Nice and soft. And I chose a lip liner that actually matches my natural contour shade. I like doing that because I want to use it as like a contour for my lip. And I know we talked about contour, I think in episode 1. And so this is my natural contour shade. And so that lip liner matches that contour shade. And so I chose it for my lip line because I want a nice soft looking natural contour for my lip. I want it to look like a natural shadow. And so I start in the center, get the corners, and I'm using the side of the pencil to get into the corner here, and then glide it along the edge. And then I use the tip of the pencil in the center. Same thing, side of the pencil. So hard to talk while doing your lids. Side of the pencil. And then when I get up to that center, I use the very tip of this. Hi, Emily Jean. I see you, girl. So yeah, so I have this like really beautiful line, but I gotta blend it, right? So I'm gonna take the pencil and I am gonna very gently kind of feather. I'm using the side of the pencil to feather in the edges. I don't want to fill my whole lip in because I don't want to get rid of that pink tone because we are working with a monochromatic look. But I don't want the lip line to be like Hello 1991, like brown lip liner, which is a look, right? I mean, if that's the look you want, I mean, good for you. It's a look. It's a look. It's not what I'm going for today. But we are going to blend it, and I'm going to use a bullet brush, like a little eyeshadow bullet brush, and just soften these edges. And literally just go right over. I'm not being super precise. I am blending the pencil contour in to the lip shade. So it's much softer. I don't want to have a line, but you can see how now it just looks like I have like a really nice shadow contour definition. And I like the bullet brush for this because it has the really dense bristles. So I'm able to really get in there and blend that out. blending this into the lip, following the shape. And notice how I'm not drawing down, I'm drawing up because I want it to, you'll get an illusion of like more fullness if you're starting from the corner and blending upward. Don't ask me why or how, it just happens. And then always towards the center, because I want to be able to control it, right? I don't want it too much on the edges. So that looks good. I like it. Okay. Great. My lip always tends to be, I have like a little bit of like an area that's a little bit thicker, like right here. It's a little thicker right there. It's a little not super symmetrical. So I'm going to add a little more contour there and then just go on top of it to kind of correct that line. So it's almost like the line dips down and then soften it. Ta-da. Yeah, I'm loving it. Hey Diane, what's up? Okay, so now, thank you for joining everyone. This is great. I did also find out that Facebook with the lives, they delete the lives after like 30 days. So I'll be downloading all my lives and then uploading them on YouTube. So they will be living on my YouTube channel. I'm reviving the YouTube channel that I started. I think it was like 2016 that I started a YouTube channel. Yeah, so anyway, we're gonna do that. We're not gonna talk about the history of my YouTube channel. All right, so then, not that it's anything like nefarious or anything, it just, yeah. So we're gonna take a little bit more of that blush and we're gonna go right over what we just did. Now, at this point, my lips are feeling a little dry. That's okay. I'm not really going all the way in. I'm sticking more around the edges, right? Like I'm not going inside the lip here. I'm just going right around the edges. Yay, Melody. No, it's cool. It's really fun. So the first time that I put like the powder on my lips, like the blush, I did the whole lip. Well, I started on the edges and the center and I did the whole lip, but I don't want to keep adding a lot of powder on my lips because of course it will dry it out. So I just blended it around the edges. Hey, thanks. Yeah, I did some curlies with my hair and I'm like, I'm really liking it. I like fluffy hair. It's fun. Okay, so that's that. And then we can also, I want to like add some hydration to my lips because they are a little dry right now. We do not want them looking like, you know, as I say, like a cat's asshole. I said it. Okay, anyway. So I'm going to take, and we were talking about like red, right, for monochromatic. So I'm going to take a red lip oil gloss. And this is from Stila. This is Beso. Yep. Beso, like kiss. So we are going to add a little bit. Now this is like really sheer, right? So I'm just going to add a little bit of this lip oil. And I'm not bringing it like all the way out to the edge because my body heat will kick in and like it will move anyway. But I'm sticking like mainly in the center and just right out to the edge. That's really pretty. I love this stuff. This stuff's amazing. And it doesn't really make my lipstick go anywhere, especially if you're doing more like liquid lipsticks and cream lip stains. Like it doesn't really make it go anywhere. It absorbs into my lips and keeps them really hydrated. So there's that. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the reddish brown that I used that was like red, but then you add a little bit of black and I did like this reddish, it looks a little bit more orange, but it is like a reddish brown and it actually matches my hair color. And that's actually the color that I used underneath my eye. And I'm just going to show you, I'm going to add a little bit on the outer corner. So I'm going to take a little bit on my bullet brush. And I like to add a little bit of depth on my outer corner. So I'm just gonna press it right here and see where my wing is. I'm really going to connect it. So I'm not gonna bring it all the way up. I'm just gonna press it here. And then I'm just placing the side of the bullet brush, the side of it. And then I'm going to, and you can see how I'm placing the tip of the brush on the inside there. And very gently making sure that they look relatively even, and that starts to give me a little bit of left. I love you all. Thank you for joining me. Okay, so I'm creating this tiny little, and I'm not going into the crease of my eye because the crease of my eye is actually down here where my skin folds. I'm doing it on the outside corner of the contour, which is the orbital bone. And then I'm gonna use a blending brush with nothing on it. Y'all, this is an old brush that I've had, I think from like the early 2000s. Your brushes can last you a long time if you take care of them. Like I clean them really well, and I do take care of them and I make sure that I maintain their shape. So, you know, if you get a little bit more of like an expensive brush set, that set can last you like over a decade. This brush I've had since, I think 2004. So 20 years, 22 years I've had this brush. That's crazy. I'm older. I'm so like adult now. Okay. Yeah. Isn't there an adultier adult that could adult more for me? No? Okay. I have to adult for myself. Fantastic. That's fine. I can do that. Okay, so we have the pink blush in my contour. We have a reddish brown, which is like a shade of red, right? With like a little bit of black. We did a super soft pink, which is a tint. Pink is a tint of red. So we're staying in the monochromatic scheme. And then we did a pink lip. And the pinks were all the same exact shade in blush. Or chroma, hue, I should say, of blush. What do I want to do now? Oh yeah, I'm going to add a little bit of highlight, and the highlight that I want to use is a pink highlight from Rare Beauty. I really don't know if this is still in circulation or if it's been discontinued. I'm going to place this on the high points of my cheekbone. It's a liquid highlighter. And then I'm going to use, you can see how I put just a tiny little bit, or you will be blinding people when you go outside. And then I'm just going to use my finger to just very gently blend this out. I'm big on using my fingers for makeup application when I don't really need to use a brush. And I know people are always like, oh, use brushes or sponges. I very rarely use sponges. I'll use sponges like if I'm doing like a photo shoot because they're really easy and really fast and great for touch-ups. But on myself, I don't really wear like a whole lot of like face makeup or foundation. So, and I usually do like more powder foundations. So yeah, anyway. So there we go. I got that beautiful pink highlight staying in the monochromatic scheme. And then we're going to do a little mascara and that's it. I'm really not, well, I mean, I could, like, if I wanted to, I'm like, yeah, okay, just saying, like, I could just add a little bit more. I could take this, like, more pinkish, like, highlight color on my finger and just go, like, maybe right in the center of the lid if I wanted to just add a little bit more dimension. I mean, that's pretty. I didn't blend it yet. I'm going to take the same thing on my other finger and just very gently place it on the center of my lid, like when I look straight ahead, like right above where the pupil is, right? And just very gently place that on there. And then when I blend it, I'm going to take my same blending brush and I wipe it off just to make sure that it's not going to blend too many of my colors together. And then I'm just going to blend those edges out, right? Ta-da! And then we'll do mascara. And that's pretty much one example of a monochromatic look. I love it. Monochromatic is usually pretty easy. It's literally eyes, cheeks, lips, same color. I could use, I think the most popular, not popular, I think the most recommended way of doing it is taking like a powder blush and put it on the eyes, cheeks, and put a little on the lip and pop it with a gloss. Sometimes you can use, you can use a cream blush, eyes, cheeks, lips. But a lot of time the cream blushes might not be ophthalmologist tested and may cause a little bit of irritation on the eyes. So I usually just do, yeah, I'll just do a powder. So there we go. If there's any questions that you have, let me know. Do you have any questions about monochromatic? Do you have any questions for me at all concerning beauty? And of course, if they are really geared towards getting involved in a lot of questions personally for yourself, you can always book a one-on-one consultation with me, even on Zoom, right? Oh, you're so welcome. So Melody said, oh, that looks so pretty. Thank you. And the blending brush is what she forgets to use. So thank you for sharing. You're so welcome. Yeah, I mean, blending is key. So I place it exactly where I want the highest intensity, right? I don't just like put the shadow on like where I think I want it and try to make it move around. I will place it like, where do I want, I got to think for a second, like where do I want the most intensity? And then I can place it, make sure the intensity points look relatively even and symmetrical, and then I can blend those edges out. And I don't usually have any makeup on my blending brush. I mean, my blending brush I usually keep pretty clean. Yeah. Any other questions you all have? I love doing this like with my phone, even though the selfie camera on the phone is like fishbowled and makes my nose look much bigger than it is. Maybe not much bigger, but a little bit bigger than it actually is in person. I know that's a thing. I guess I must be a little self-conscious about that. It's like I want y'all to know like what I look like. I'm just like, there aren't enough pictures of me online right now. It's been really fun doing the makeups and feeling really feminine and pretty. And again, it's like, I see makeup like jewelry, right? Like, what kind of jewelry do I want to wear today? Like the labradorite necklace I picked out, and the earrings that were a gift from my friend Lulua. So if she ever sees this, she'll see that I gave her a shout out. Yeah. So I am now just, oh, that's a really nice mascara. This is from Westman Atelier mascara. I don't know the actual name of the mascara, but the brand name is Westman Atelier. I really like them. And this mascara is really nice. I spend my time, obviously, with mascara because I really like to build up the lash. I don't like wearing false lashes on myself. I'm terrible at applying them on myself because I can't see anything. And my eyes are so, like, the skin on my eyes, like my lash line, like, it's so sensitive. So even if I did get false lashes on me, it's like, it's so not comfortable for me. So I use a lash serum, and then I just make sure that I do some really, like, as you can tell, I'm going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I'm really placing the lashes, like I make sure these lashes are going this way and this way. Like I'm really, really strategic with my lash application and mascara. And so we're gonna do a little on the bottom because I got some liner and eyeshadow on the bottom of the eyes. So I just wanna do a little mascara down there. So this is one example of a monochromatic look. And there you go. So I hope you enjoyed it. I mean, that's pretty much it. Quick and easy, 1, 2, 3, no problem. And even like explaining it, I don't even know how long I've been on here, but even just explaining it isn't nearly as long as like doing my entire face. So I made sure that I had, instead of being completely redundant and full of repetition with everything that I'm doing. If you want to check out how I prep my skin for makeup, check out episode 1 where I did like the whole thing from start to finish. And that's it. So thank you so much. Check me out on elf-cafe.com. And I have a Facebook page, Elf Cafe, that I tagged in this video. And yeah, so enjoy. Happy makeuping. Yeah, that's a saying. And, you know, if nobody told you today, I love you. Bye.